Today on the program, we shall intentionally and deliberately throw overboard all of the things that weigh us down, the hardships, the troubles, the anxieties, and all of them, so we can focus and genuinely celebrate our dear country, Nigeria, and her hospitable and hardworking people. We shall be celebrating Nigeria at 63 with you and two young, successful, impact-making, proud son and daughter of this great nation.
Yeah. 1953, a man named Anthony Enahoro first moved the motion for Nigeria's independence, which of course was eventually granted in 1960 after several political setbacks. Here we are, 63 years after, an independent nation flying our own flag and celebrating the wealth and the rich natural resources that we have in our space. Peace and unity as symbolized by the Nigerian flag as well.
There it is. Yeah. We got some for you today. It's all over town, and we hope that you got some. So today, on behalf of the management and staff of PlusTvAfrica, we heartily wish you a very, very happy Independence Anniversary celebration. Among Helen Odele, proud in Nigeria today, tomorrow, and every day. Welcome to a really great conversation and the celebration edition of the show.
Well, I'm John Sanaya, and this is Today with John and Helen Live, a show totally dedicated to enhancing the Nigerian family on all fronts. Now, with the joy of celebration, I wish to thank you for joining us on the eve of the independence of our dear nation.
I'm super excited for all the reasons that we shall unveil later on, especially the revelation and the celebration of our two guests who will give us the chance to learn a lot, from their special fields. So stay with us while we quickly go on this very short break to bring you some messages, and we will be back in a bit. Don't go away.
Thanks for staying with us, and if you just joined in, you are welcome to the Independence Day celebration edition of Today with John and Helen Live. Two of the sectors that have projected Nigeria internationally, amongst others, are entertainment and fashion. We have representatives who will be joining us later to look at the progress made so far and how we can further exploit these sectors for better gain.
Bisola Jones, a dynamic creative director, Janet's Closet, and Johnson Amechi, solicitor and advocate of the Supreme Court, will later on take us through scaling our business in this economic crisis and the legal side of the entertainment industry. Of course, other segments of the program are intact for your viewing pleasure, so make sure you stay with us from start.
So in other words, we roll out the drums in celebration of Nigeria's 63rd independence anniversary. How well, how far have we fared? And what should we expect from both the government and the people during this celebration? That's a huge question, yeah?
It's a huge question. And if you ask me, John, I would say everything and anything that we need to do right now, as we go on the 63rd year of our independence, anything that we have to do to throw away that which divide us as one people, whatsoever it takes at this point in time, I think that should be our concentration. What
we need now is
Naira
money in our pockets.
So for you, money answers all things.
Money.
No, but really money comes when every other thing, when the climate, when the environment is right.
But Helen, that question is a very difficult one for anyone living in Nigeria today. Because almost on all fronts, we are all cringing and having some kind of difficulty. So, I think we should just ask God for the gift of life.
Which we have.
And good health.
Yeah. And safety. Ease of movement from one part to another without all of the fears and all of the anxieties of being abducted and all of it.
Yeah, let's just hope that we'll be alive to enjoy a better Nigeria, which will be coming up soon.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen and amen and amen. And so the land is green, so says T.Y. Bello. with the happiest people in the world, despite the diversity in tongues and tribes. In brotherhood, we must stand as one.
I like that in diversity in tongues. It takes me back to our national anthem, the old one.
Yes.
You know, in though tongues,
the tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we stand.
In brotherhood we stand. And that's really interesting. Amazing, amazing.
Okay, I think it's at another point where we need to take another very quick break. Director, we need to take a break right now so we can get some water for our guests. Yeah, let's take a break.
So, moving on, it's time to throw our flashlight on the fashion industry and see how it has helped Nigeria to grow and Nigerians to thrive. Joining us at this moment is a fashionable damsel, dynamic and visionary creative director with a passion for fashion and track record of turning a lot of things
into successful
ventures. So, it is my pleasure and honor to have in our studio with us and to introduce to you our guest, Bisola Jones. Yeah?
Come to the show, Bisola.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Kiddo, so this is a very special occasion. You know, we're celebrating Nigeria at 63 and here you are with us.
Yes.
The fashion industry since 1960. Yeah, you were nowhere around then, I know. But you have all the information. Give us a small insight into what you know and where we are at this point in time.
Okay, I think fashion is a very broad industry and it depends on the segments you've decided to venture into. For me, I do retailing and importation of fashionable items has really helped a lot of youths thrive in this country because the fashion industry is something that is very profitable because clothing is one thing that would always sell no matter the economy. It would sell. People would wear clothes. No one is going to walk out naked. So it's something that is very profitable, and then most youths have ventured into it. It's now like a way of living, and also a way to increase your income, your day-to-day income, and so it has helped the economy in a lot of ways. Also, those that make their own outfits here, Nigerian brands are also being recognized globally.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure that at the same time, you didn't just come out and become so successful overnight, right? Could you take us through some of the challenges that you may have faced, during your growth in the business?
Okay. For starters, Jane's Closet wasn't a long-term plan. For me, at the point, I had the Nigerian youth's dream of finishing school and getting a great job. But then along the line in school, I started selling. It was a means to an end because I felt, this is what I need to survive in school, then get a job after school. But during that time, I realized that I had passion for it. During that time, I realized that it's actually more lucrative than I thought. A lot of times, we youths, we feel, or individuals in general, we feel like we do not have anything to offer. There's always something in us. There's always something.
So
but sometimes, yes, you need to dig in. Sometimes we ignore it. And we want to fill the purpose or the goals that the public have set for us. But there's always something in us. It could be a talent that you do not recognize as something big, but it can end up paying for your livelihood. So we always need to look within us and know what it is we have got.
So your
the
belief
fashion
in yourself is one of the things that has propelled you.
that propelled my business. So for fashion, when I got into fashion, And I started really small.
Okay.
I started really small, and with time, consistency, hard work, it began to pay off. It began to pay off. Also, understanding the sector of fashion you want to go into and understanding the people around you, their purchasing power is very important. For me as a student, let's say you want to go into fashion as a student.
All right, you're going, okay, how you started in school and all that. The topic we're looking at is, cashing into the fashion industry and scaling that business even in this crisis season, if I can use the word. So what are the strategies? What strategies have you gradually, employed to adopt as we advise other people while they're trying to scale up their businesses?
I believe that the first goal of every business is to make profits. And there's no way you can scale up or experience growth in your business if you are not making sales. So you need to strategize on how to make sales, how to improve your sales. And how do we do that? It's either by adding looking for new customers, adding new clients to your current ones, or increasing or growing your average revenue from the current customers. How do we do this? For an entrepreneur, you need to have an entrepreneurial mindset. You need to know your goals. You need to set a vision for that brand.
What's the entrepreneurial mindset?
You need staying focused, staying committed, and growing whatever it's doing. Everything you have to do, and staying dedicated to the cause. So you doing all of that, because it's not going to be rosy. Business is a very funny journey, but it's not going to be rosy. But if you have a vision and you set the right goals in place, if your business is well managed, you would make money from it.
Okay. Well, I have learned one word, especially scaling. Right? It's not a word that we've heard until recently. So when we talk about scaling your business, are we scaling up? Are we scaling down? What is scaling? What's scaling your business?
Growth in that business. Scaling improvement, innovation. And one thing, also, one of the entrepreneurial mindset is innovation. You have to be innovative. And during this period, we all know how the economy is. You need to be flexible in your thinking. You can't always do things the way you've always done them and expect a different result. You need to be innovative. You need to have ideas. Also, mentorship is very important. There are brands that are doing so well that you can draw inspiration from, learn things or one or two things from them. And also, do not compare your brand to big brands, because these people have put in background work that you are yet to put in and already experiencing results. So you can't compare your results so soon.
Okay. So scaling and thriving and making progress, all are words that we have learned also today. And we know that, like you said, if you go into business, first of all, you go into business to make profit. Profit is about naira and kobo, and dollars and pounds sterling. So can you provide, how can we manage, our resources? Management of resources for the entrepreneur to enable him or her thrive and scale up?
That's a very good question. For entrepreneurs, you need to be very calculative. You need to be very cost effective. You need to try to minimize your expenses. Overheads, yes. Minimize your expenses, your running costs, so you can maximize profits.
Wow.
Okay.
Great. And direct straight to the point there. So we need to manage our overheads very well, so that what we have remaining will be worth it.
For instance, we as business owners, we understand we have the fixed costs and variable costs. Starting up a business, you need to find cost-effective locations for your business. Okay. Things that, a way that your fixed cost is not more than your income.
Yeah.
You need to be very calculative and very prudent when starting up a business. If a business is mismanaged, you cannot make profits. You cannot make profits.
You rather
Okay.
go under.
So, I mean, that will talk about, that will refer to structuring, how to structure yourself, But opportunities will come. How do we, as entrepreneurs, how do we identify these opportunities when they come? Especially now that things are getting more and more difficult in our environment.
There's this saying that says, when you are prepared, opportunities do not pass you by.
Wow.
As an entrepreneur, you do not have to be laid back. Some people are laid back and they will expect things to work out for them. There are things to learn, there are courses to take. It's not just about getting fine clothes to resell or trying to. It's also about you building yourself as an entrepreneur, building your mindset. So when opportunities come, you can identify which one is good for your brand. Because not all opportunities is great. It might look enticing, but it might actually make you might actually lose more than you gain. Wow. So you need to be well prepared. You need to develop yourself so that when the right opportunity comes, you identify it that, oh, this is it. This is the profitable one for me. It's diverse. It can happen in different ways.
Yeah. So when the opportunities come, they will fit into.
It will fit into your structure, what you've prepared. But if you are laid back and waiting for people to do the job, if you don't know what you want, people will hand you over anything and you take it. So you need to know your whys in business. Why you want your goals, you need to know your whys. Everything you do has to have a reason, has to have a background reason. Oh, you want a store. Why do I need a store? You need to know your whys. That way you know if you're making profits or not.
Great.
Okay. That question takes me to two areas. One is the inability, if I can say, of entrepreneurs to prepare adequately at this point in time because of the exchange rate of our currency. That's one. Secondly, a lot of people are now doing business, selling business without having a structure, without having a physical store. Yeah? Talk to us about these two areas. How should we go about it?
For me, I run a really thriving online store and also a physical store. Like I said, understanding your whys is very important. For me, I have differentiated them as separate entities, and I have different reasons why I put in so much effort or invest so much in both. Now, an online store, most times, would attract customers, while physical store would help with customer retention. Because when people see things like, for instance, I'm into clothing. When people see some clothing online, see it on me, see it on my models, they would really love it. What most people, especially Nigerians that we have, they wouldn't want to purchase so much online because they don't know how the quality is, they don't know how the fit on their body would be. They would rather come into the store. So when they come into the store, they spend more than they would spend online.
Okay.
So that way you are expanding your profit margin. You are not just restricting yourself to online customers. And online is also very good because it also doesn't restrict you. It's not a structure. Everybody globally can see your brand. It helps your brand. That's like free advertisement. It helps your brand. But the physical store helps mostly with customer retention.
Wow. And looking at you you have maybe that's why they call you you say you're the creative director. Yeah? How creative can you get in this environment? How creative? I mean, what is the input of creativity in this business at this time?
Business, not even fashion, business in general requires a lot of creativity and innovation. A lot of times people start up businesses and they want to keep running it the same way. There are a lot of brands that have gone into extinction because they do not add value to the brand. They are not moving from one level to the next. They want to keep operating the way they want to keep operating the way they've always operated without adding. Because we as humans, we've grown. There are a lot of things you liked 2 years ago that you do not like now. There are a lot of things you spent money on 2 years ago that you can never spend your money on now. So as a business, you need to understand your customer behavior and grow with them so they don't overgrow you.
Wow. Customer behavior. Wow. And the customers are so diverse.
Very diverse. The human beings in general are insatiable. Okay. Our needs change from time to time. Our wants change from time to time. Okay, I would use myself as a case study. As a student, I understood that the customers around me at the point had very low purchasing power. I stocked up stuff that they could afford and would move in such environments. But I graduated. They also graduated. Things changed over time. They are no longer students. They are working. So I decided to start imputing different things that can fit them. So, but imagine if I was still selling for students, I obviously might not be making as much as I am right now. So we need to be innovative.
Wow. Okay. So, you have come this far. You have it all together. I mean, with this conversation, I can see that this is really thought out and you're happy with what you're doing and you're contributing to the development of the nation. And you would have some do's and don'ts, if I can say that, some tips, very key tips that anyone venturing into entrepreneurship and maybe the fashion industry business, what things they must consider. If we say 5 top considerations, what would they be?
Before venturing into any business, you need to know how to do your market analysis. You need to know. You need to understand your customer behavior. You need to understand the people you are trying to reach out to, their needs. Every business should meet a need. If you are meeting a need, there's always use for you and your product. You need to also be consistent, be dedicated to your work. Show up on days you do not even feel like. That's the only way you can scale in business. If you decide to show up today and not show up tomorrow, and next tomorrow, even your family members will go and buy what you're selling from outsiders. It's normal. Nobody is waiting for you. You're not doing anybody a favor by doing business. You're not doing them a favor. So, if you decide not to show up today, not to show up in a week, people have moved on. They've forgotten you. And something you should always do, see, social media right now has changed a lot of lives. A lot of lives. You need to be in people's faces. Your campaign has to be it. You need to be in people's faces from time to time. That way, your brand registers in their minds, right? Registers in their brains.
Wow.
Okay.
This is interesting.
Very, very interesting.
I've even tempted to want to get her to be my personal clothes,
What do you mean? do you do men's clothing?
No, we don't.
Okay. All right.
For now.
I can cross.
For now.
I can be a cross.
Oh, no, please.
So, she knows what she wants. So, she's not getting handouts from just anybody. She already has a structure.
Focused,
It's focused.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ladies.
All right, my final word, my final question or area is that exchange rate thing that I talked about earlier on. Does it help you to stock, to buy in bulk or to just piecemeal? Which would be better?
The exchange rates. Now, as a business owner, forecasting situations is very important. As at 4 months ago, the exchange rate wasn't as high as it is right now. Most people, even if, because something with fashion, there are always new design coming up every week. So you just don't want to buy a lot of things and then there are new designs and you cannot buy it at that point. So one thing you can do is always have foreign currencies, change money. You have foreign currencies. Then you've gotten it. As we have right now, we know that it's very possible that the rates will not come down. If you buy whatever it is, dollar or pounds you buy right now, you know it's useful for you in the next 3 to 4 months to come. So if you always have more savings in in foreign currencies, it will help a lot in building your brand and also helping your profit margin.
That's the trick.
Wow.
That's the trick. Right there.
Because for your customer is king.
Yes.
You know, the satisfaction of the customer is also very, very key.
Very key.
All right, a final word to Nigerians. You know, this is a special season.
Happy Independence. And also, whatever it is you find yourself doing, do it with the whole of your heart. Do it like your life depends on it.
Wow.
And it's worth it. And you always get results. Thank you.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
stuff.
you. Thank you. Bisola there.
Yeah.
Taking
Bisola
us
Jones.
through
And,
scaling your business
yeah.
in these economic crises. We hope you picked a lot from her conversation. All right, we're moving on. The show is still today with John and Helen. And our next guest is waiting. John?
Our next guest is a lawyer, and he'll be taking us to the very stormy area of entertainment, you know, as we see it today in Nigeria.
All right.
Well, we'll ask you to hold on. Just hold your breath. He'll be with us in a second.
We will be back in a minute. Let's take a break.